Good morning, chicks and chickens. Welcome back to Old Man Farm. My name is Sid, as always. Today we're going to try and go to Ginger Island, get a few things done there, see if we can't get the house built. And I think I'm going to talk to you guys about some intrusive thoughts. Hooray! And how to deal with it. I have been dealing with it quite a bit lately, and it is something, although I am not an expert and I'm just an idiot on the internet and you shouldn't take advice from me, I do have a lot of I have a lot of experience in the area, so I don't know. It's just been on my mind today, especially. It was it was happening a lot today, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. But I got a few things to just dump off in the house real quick. Can we put him up there? No. Okay. Let's put... Oh, good lord. Let's put this bunny here. We'll put it up in the kids, the non-existent kids room. And I'll put our lawn flamingo somewhere. Jeez, we just have all kinds of stupid stuff, don't we? Alright. Lawn flamingo will go... I guess we can get rid of our candy canes. God. We are turning into that horrible, horrible person that just has just the most inane things sitting out on their front porch. Okay. I'm not going to worry about too many things here. We're going to go ahead and get our warp totem. We don't have to worry about our Zen garden today, for obvious reasons. We don't need to go and water that, but... you know what? I might not have. I'm going to have to make a totem real quick. Let's do that, and then we will get underway. Alright, let's do this. I have a bunch of crap on us that really doesn't need to go with us, so I'm just going to sell a few things. Oil, mushroom, there we go. Alright, and sadly... Grover will have to find his own way home tonight, but luckily he knows the way. So, intro, oh my god. Oh, I forgot! That's awesome. Hey, Sid, so, what do you think? Oh, it is adorable. I love the circle window. I feel pretty good about it. In fact, it might be my finest work yet. Are there beer bottles on the windowsill, or the door frame? Notice the round window? Very difficult to bend the frame like that. See, that was the first thing I pointed out, Robin. Oh, and the intricate carvings on the door. Took me forever to notice that. Oh, those are carvings. Jesus. Well, I did. Those were all the things I noticed. Oh, guess I'm rambling about wood again, huh? Anyway, I'm gonna go talk to them, but first I have to ask. Do you want me to tell them you paid for this? I'd rather remain anonymous. Okay, you stay here then. I'm hiding in the bushes. Hi there, neighbors. It's a nice new house you got there. Robin, I don't know what to say. This is a dream come true. It's all I've ever wanted. Don't cry, Pam, or I'm gonna cry. Robin, thank you so much. Hey, don't thank me. Someone else came up with the idea, and they paid for everything too. Then who? I can't say. They insisted on remaining anonymous. He probably stayed anonymous so he wouldn't have to feel obligated to them. Whoever you are, you're truly a pure angel. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I gotta get this shot. I like the hand up. Penny, from now on we'll be like a real family, you hear? I don't want to be so bitter all the time anymore. I'm gonna try to turn my life around. Aww. Oh, that was very... I mean, that was very nice. Oh, but you know what that means? I think we can take Pam's house off the list. That was very, very, very nice. We'll just scoot by real quick to take a little look and give Dusty a pet. See if we can go inside. I truly don't remember this, so... No. Okay. Well, oh, hi, Pam. Okay. to say goodbye to Dusty. And we're off to the island. I don't know if it's going to be raining there. But anyway, as I was saying, I do want to talk about some intrusive thoughts. Not necessarily specific ones, but just about it in general. If you are not familiar with intrusive thoughts, they are, well, I mean, pretty self-explanatory there. They are things that pop into your head that you are usually, I mean, they don't have to be strikingly unpleasant, I suppose, but generally, when we're talking about them, they are strikingly unpleasant. And they can range anything from, it could be something like, well, I mean, one of the classic examples is, oh, did I leave the oven on, right? That could be an intrusive thought. You don't want to have it, and now you're worrying about it. Or you can have the ones that are more maybe extreme, like constantly worrying about, having thoughts that, oh, this bump on my leg, is it like a tumor and I'm going to die? You know what I mean? Or they could be, it could be PTSD. It could be related to something that you've gone through in the past, and now your brain is forcing you to relive it. That would be an intrusive thought. And then you have, well, in the Barbie movie, if you've seen that, she's like, "Do you guys ever think about death?" That's an intrusive thought. But I have a lot of intrusive thoughts. And a lot of them are, oh man, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if I'm gonna get judged by this or not, but I'm just gonna say it. I have a lot of violent intrusive thoughts, and by the very nature of them being intrusive, I'm telling you, I don't want them. But a lot of times the violence is directed at myself. But I do have them, you know what, we're going to try and do this. Apparently I was very close to getting this last time. But a lot of times I will have intrusive thoughts that are violence to others or things around me. And I was having that today because I woke up today and I was very just upset. And I was just mad at everything. One sec. Damn it. Let me try again. We'll get back to it. I already wasn't paying attention. I did it. Okay, there we go. It's a few more walnuts to our hoard. Okay, so I woke up. I was very angry at everything for no reason, and I knew it was for no reason. And that always just generates. Oh my God! Hello, hi. Can't we all just get along? That can just generate a bad day, knowing that I'm just about to be mad at everything, and luckily my logic prevailed. And although I was angry all day, I knew that it was based on nothing. And as such, I didn't lash out at anyone or say anything I regretted or anything like that. I just got through the day in a foul mood. But, in that mood, there were times someone would say something or do something, and I would just get so angry, and then I would just have you just have these thoughts of like saying or doing just violent things, and I'm taken aback by them. Like, why is this in my head? I don't want to think this. And I know when I started having really like frightening, intrusive thoughts that were like thoughts of hurting myself specifically, I had a lot of those. I was really worried that there was something wrong with me. But the fact is that intrusive thoughts are very, very, very common, obviously to different degrees and about different things, but we do all have them for the most part. Even if we don't have them all the time, and even if they're not quite as maybe disturbing all the time as they are other times, they are normal. And as I was having these issues, I started listening to some meditation, like guided meditation stuff, and then just generally I started listening to some videos just about Buddhism in general. Not really related, but it was just something that I thought I could occupy my brain with. And next thing I know, I have gotten so sucked into that now I cannot get out of my head about just death and existence, and I start to go down a very steep spiral where I get horribly lost in the unknowable questions of the nature of existence. And obviously when I was already listening to stuff about like Buddhism, it's like that's a lot of that is about the like acceptance, like the realization and not rationalization of existence. And I don't know what was terrifying me more, the idea that existence is unknowable or the idea that existence is knowable. And it was bad. And again, I'm not trying to think any of these. This isn't like when you sit down to write something and you're like, okay, I need ideas. This is my brain yelling this shit at me and me going, no, I don't want to think about this. And it's saying, well, we're thinking about this. And it's not just like, it's not like anxiety or dwelling on a thought. It's like they are violently just being shoved into my brain, and I try to find anything I can to get out of it. So I guess that sort of leads me to the logical step of, what do you do when you have these? How do you get out of this? And obviously I'm not a person to come to for advice. I'm an idiot, but I have a lot of these thoughts, and again, with the anger that I was feeling today for seemingly no reason, I think with all of this is partially just realizing that it's okay that you're having these thoughts. Yeah, 20. Damn, we need 4 more. But in that, I was thinking a lot about our internal versus external struggles. So, am I wrong? Am I a bad person for thinking these violent thoughts? Again, I'm not dwelling upon them, but I had this thought. Does that make me a violent person? Does that make me a horrible, oh my God, am I, do I need to be put in jail? And no, I don't believe so. Like I said, I know that a lot of people have, that violence is a very common intrusive thought. And if you didn't think it was intrusive, maybe that might be something to contemplate the nature of. But the fact that you feel that it's intrusive, you don't want it there, tells you that you're probably okay. At least that's the way I have been told to think about it, and way I have come to think about it. But still, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. No, I think to myself, if having the thought doesn't make me a bad person or a violent person or again, because it's a common thing for me to, with the self-harm stuff, it doesn't make me suicidal to think these things. Whoops. No, I wanted to read it. Ah, crap. Having those thoughts doesn't mean I want to act on them, right? See, after half a month on this island, I've learned a thing or two about finding these golden nuts. One must keep their eyes peeled for subtle clues. If something looks unusual, there may be a hidden nut nearby. I've noticed signs in the sands and signs in the leaves. I even saw a nut up in a tree near the volcano. Only had a way of shooting it down. Whenever I've spotted a nut plant, I've always found a way to reach it. So, anyway, so if having the thought does not mean you are that thing, then I started to get into because people will tell you that some of the things you think are wrong and that you're bad for having those thoughts. But where exactly where is that line between your internal monologue or did you hear that? It sounded like a tree coming down. Or your self-image versus, oh my God, versus the perception that people have of you. And I am the type, I tend to believe that you shouldn't really care what other people think about you. But at the same time, it is part of your life. And I think in the grand scheme of trying to eliminate suffering from your life, you have to take into account the effect that others' perception on you has. I think the crux of it, and the thing that should really be focused on in that regard, is not leading your life based on it. Being cognizant of it and being controlled by it, I think, are two very different things. I'm also realizing that I don't have any. I thought we had lightning rods out, but it appears we do not. The bat wings. I should have a few of those. So, like I said, I've never really been much for caring what others thought of me. But here's the thing. Why this has started to become something I was thinking about is that means that really all I have to go on for image of myself is that's it. It's what I think. And as anyone who has listened to my channel for long enough knows, I and most people, I think tend to have at least some amount of, if not a pretty substantial warp on how they see themselves and the reality of the situation. And sometimes that can be for good or worse. Sometimes your view of yourself is maybe people actually see you in a better light than you see yourself, which is, again, not inherently good, but I suppose it could be worse. You could think you're great, and actually you're a terrible person. I think anyway, that's neither here nor there. But one second. What do we need? Let's go with. What do I have a lot of? Corn, as always. Anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Crap. I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to put this other row in there, but that's okay. Here, we're going to go ahead and get to bed, though, because I don't want to pass out again. We have time to put the corn away. But anyway, my point is I think with everything, or with a lot of the things we talk about on this channel, I think that balance is important in these things, but more than anything, I think it's important that if you ever struggle with intrusive thoughts, I know a lot of times, parents, and maybe they're just more vocal about it, but mothers a lot of times will think about how they wonder if they have these thoughts of being a terrible, terrible mother. And I know I think about it, if I'm a terrible dad, you know what I mean? Like, so I assume we all do it, but, classically, women tend to be more open with their feelings, and I think it's important that we're all open with these things, but, that's another common one, like, oh, I'm a terrible son, I'm a terrible mother, I'm a terrible father, whatever. And, we all have these terrible, terrible intrusive thoughts, and I think knowing that is normal, that it's okay, and that you don't have to be controlled by them, and it doesn't make you a bad person to have them, it makes you very, very normal. I think that's important. And I think it's also important to, and I'm more speaking to myself at this point, but it is okay to accept that other people see you maybe better than you see yourself. Because I'm always willing to accept that people see the bad in me and accept that, but I'm very seldom willing to accept when people see anything good. So I'm left only with the warped, negative image I have in my own head of myself. And I think it's important that we realize that you are, again, this Venn diagram of both the perception of you and your perception of yourself, and then there is the reality of the situation, which I don't think any of us can actually see without bias. But anyway, that was heavy. I don't know. I'm not. I hope that was something. I hope that was enjoyable. I hope anyone's still listening. Last thing I'll say before I go is, the more abnormal you feel, the more normal that probably makes you. I think anyone with any self-awareness feels pretty abnormal very often. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to bed. It's quite late. But I hope you had a good day. And be good to each other. I will talk to you tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow. Good night.